Howdy everybody, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this class. The idea for this week is just to review. So this is a sad time, or maybe a happy time for you because it's our last class together. I'm sad because I didn't get a chance to really get to know you perfectly well because of the way the classes were conducted this semester. But I had a really nice time getting to see you sometimes on Zoom and speaking together with you. So I'm really happy to be here today to say thank you first. And let's do today's class. Today's class is going to be split in review, explain what's on the test, and then finish, okay? So I'll explain about when the test is, how the test is made up, and then, go through some, things. Today's worksheet will help you with the test because some of the questions use some of the keywords. Some of them help you make an answer, so hopefully this will help you get the perfect 8+ that you're going to get this semester, okay? So everybody, good luck getting that A. I know you're all going to do a great job and you're all going to try your best. So let's move on. First of all, when is the exam? Well, we're going to practice for the final exam, but the exam is going to be on June 22nd. That is a Monday, and I'm going to do it at 6 p.m. Maybe you're like 6 p.m. Don't worry. You shouldn't have any classes at that time. We're all going to take the test at the same time, and you're going to have 50 minutes to finish the exam. My English classes for academic English are all going to take it at the same time. So you'll log on to eClass, you'll do your tests, and then you'll finish. You'll have 50 minutes to take the test. I can leave the test open for 1 hour in case there's a connection issue, but you will have 50 minutes to do it. So that's the first point. Now, let's go on to reviewing what's on there. As you can see, the vocabulary section, I've taken words from page 75, 99, 110, 111, 116, and I've put the expressions, I've put everything together so that you can practice. For today's class, you can see that on your worksheet, your questions are all here. Everything is here. You just have to fill in the questions, write the answers down. It's just practice. The more you practice, the higher your score will be, I'm sure, because it's here to help you. So remember, first one, which of your friends is always pulling your leg? So who's always joking around? That's the meaning. Which of your friends says they will be just a second, but they are always late? So remember, just a second, just a minute, just a sec, like short time, like that. Which of your friends thinks they are smart, but they are on the wrong track? That means your friend thinks they are smart, but really they're not smart at all. So wrong track means the wrong thinking, the wrong kind of direction that they're going. Next one, it couldn't hurt to eat blank in. Now you can say Mohyun. If you've been to Mohyun, you can say your hometown. Couldn't hurt means it's worth trying. It's a good thing to do. So, it couldn't hurt to drink some beer tonight. Like you'd be like, it means it's a good idea. Next one, what was your biggest moral dilemma? So moral dilemma, something where you weren't sure if it's right or wrong, like what should you do? You can write down your answer. Which place in Korea costs an arm and a leg to live there? Remember, an arm and a leg, it means to be expensive. Put yourself in someone's shoes, so in this case Fraser. What grade would you give yourself? Honestly, what do you think? So if you're in someone's shoes, it means thinking from their point of view. So what would you do? Would you give yourself that A? Yeah, I'm sure, right? Did your parents or teachers have any double standards towards you? So remember, double standards. That means one rule for you, but another rule for another person, but there's no reason. So if you have a double standard, it's like, oh, Fraser, you can do this. But then maybe my sister, no, you can't do that. But there's no reason. So the best examples of double standards are usually something that parents or teachers do. They show favor to somebody. So you can try to find an answer. Which place do you need to show modesty? Remember, modesty means to cover yourself. So remember, where do you need to be, modest? Do you have any old-fashioned clothes? So do you have anything that's from a long time ago that you like to wear? Any kind of fashion style like that? So hopefully you've got those answers. Just write them down, so pause me now. You wrote down your answers, everything's perfect. So let's move along. Again, this test is heavy on the vocabulary. Page 80, 100, 104, 106. Make sure you know what each one does and what you need it for. This is all about computers. As you can see, I've put down on your worksheet just some sentences that you need to match together. Now, page 100 and 104, I've just used some words. I want you to try to match them together. Hopefully, it's perfect and it won't be too hard. But as I say, from 80, 100, 104, 106, make sure you know the meanings of these words. This test has a lot of vocabulary words and expression words, so we have to make sure we know their meaning. So, on your worksheet, I just want you to try to match them together, and then I'll go through the answers one by one. So, pause me now. And let's go on to the next one. So, the answer, I'll give the answers today. Share a link, send a web address for others, post a message, add a comment to people's timelines. These days people say stories, but originally Facebook said timeline, so I've used some things from the book, so it's a little bit older. Next on, scroll to go up or down the page. Next on, cyberbully, someone who sends cruel messages online. Nature school, that means your personality is through your genes, your DNA. Attach, that means you add something to an email. Extrovert, an outgoing person. Introvert, a quiet person. So as you can see, I've used a few different pages for this, but the idea is make sure you know the vocabulary that we have already studied in class. This part is all about comparisons, talking about as blank as. So Fraser is as something like this. Now you can see my first example is talking about a smartphone. Don't worry about Shrek. So my smartphone is as good as my laptop. So which is better? Neither. We use as and then some adjective and then as to say that they are the same. Always we have is. Now sometimes you might need to put are. Remember that, okay? But it depends if it's singular or plural, like this. So my smartphone is as good as my laptop or as good as the laptop. They're the same, so no problem. Fraser is just as ugly as Shrek. Now you can see why Shrek is a little bit upset. Who is more handsome? And in class time, I did the same gag. Nobody. We are the same. Just is an emphasis. There's no meaning to the word. So Fraser is as ugly as Shrek. Fraser is just as ugly as Shrek. It's the same meaning. So Fraser is just as ugly as Shrek. Nobody is more handsome. We're both wonderfully handsome or ugly, depending how you think. But I love you, Shrek. Heart for you, okay? Let's go on to the next part. Now on page 102, the grammar said that the adverb just is for emphasis. There's no meaning. So the new speakers are just as good as the old ones. That means speakers, old one, two of them are, they're the same. In this case, the gear is almost as fast as the BMW. This time, if you remember, almost means there's a difference. Which car is faster? The BMW. So the gear is almost as fast as the BMW. B, the second one, is the highest one, the fastest one. The gear is slower, the lower level one. If we want to talk about difference again, we can say is not or are not as something something. So not quite means very small difference. Not nearly means there's a huge difference between them. So when you remember this grammar, we can look at the examples that they gave in the book, but I need to pick your. So the first one, our new printer isn't as noisy as the old one. So this one is just saying they're not the same. Which is noisier? the old one. So remember, new printer is good, old one is bad. In this case, we're looking at noisy. So we want to say number 2, the B part, this one here, is the most noisy. So you can see this one is noisier, this one is not noisy. The G4 isn't quite as expensive as the Z90. Which one is more expensive? So isn't quite, is not quite. So it means there's a very small difference. The G4 isn't quite as expensive as the Z90. Which is more expensive? The Z90. Remember, the second one is the most, the biggest amount of whatever this word is. So in this case, expensive. Let's go on to the next one. The Panasonic isn't nearly as affordable as the ZTB. So isn't nearly, not nearly, means there's a big difference. So the Panasonic isn't nearly as affordable as the ZTB. Affordable means cheap. Many people can buy it. So what's the answer? The Zeta V is cheaper than the Panasonic. Remember, the second one is the most of whatever this is. So the Zeta V is cheaper than the Panasonic. There we go, okay? Hopefully you've got this down. Maybe? Now, for this part of class, I would like you to try to just make a comparison. Make a comparison between the pictures. So I'll show you the pictures on YouTube, and then you can just make some comparisons. So you'd say is as something as. And then in this one, you would make some differences that you can see. So there's 4 and there's 4. So try to make something similar between them, and then something different between them. The pictures are on here, so I'll just go through the pictures slowly, and you can pause the video when you find the, after you see the picture. So here's the first, I guess I need to move, so hang on. Here's the first one. So you have Park Hyo-shin and Gong Yu. Try to think of something that they are the same and something that is different. If you need to use, the internet, no problem. You can search online and find. So pause it. We have Kim Tae-hee and Beyonce. So again, one difference and something that's the same about them. So just as beautiful as each other, like that. So pause me. We have IU and we have Taylor Swift. So try to think of something that's the same and something that's different between them. And the last picture is the best picture. Oh, wow. This is the first time I've seen this. Oh, wow. Well, all I can say is there's a very handsome guy over here, and there's some other guy over here. Remember, I want you to make a comparison between us. So we have David Beckham, and we have me. It is really me, and it's this finger. No bad fingers in my picture. This one only, alright? So as you can see, remember, something that's similar between us and something that's different between us. There's many things. So pause it. Wow, it's time for a break. Hopefully you've finished your worksheet, you've taken it easy, everything is going perfectly. So don't worry, okay? Just take a break. Everything's great today. So pause it and let's go on to the next part. Okay, so everybody, this part is all about grammar. And this was page 112, unreal conditional. Now remember, a conditional sentence has 2 parts. If clause introduces the condition, the 만약에 part. Then it has the result clause. What happened because of this? Now, when we think about English, remember, pro tip, real conditional talks about real situations, something that really happened. So if I don't use English in the speaking test, Fraser will give me a bad grade. This means it is a real condition that's true, going to happen. We want unreal. So remember, when you write them down, you can see, you can write it there. If I knew, I would tell you. I would tell you if I knew. They are both correct. No error. Sometimes people say could. I could tell you if I knew. Like it depends on the certain situation, but could and would is okay. Just remember, comma in the middle if the clause with if is first. If the result, the would, and the base form comes first, then there's no comma. This is for unreal conditionals. So, unreal conditional. It means that the situation and the result is not real, it's fantasy. If I were you, I would study harder. Am I you? Am I you? Are you? No! 아직 so, am I you? No, it's not true. It's an unreal conditional. If I were you. No was. If I found a wallet in the street, I would return it. We have the simple past tense, found, and we have would, and the base form of the verb, return. So, to return something. So, in this case, if I found a wallet in the street, I would return it. Okay? Page 112, if I. These are all things that are not true. What would you do if you were Fraser? I would cancel class. I would blah blah blah. What would you do if you were President Trump or Moon Jae-in? What would you do if you were me? Now, in this case, you have no partner to talk to. So, in this case, what would you do if you were your brother or sister? Okay? No brother or sister? Then you can put down a famous singer. If you hadn't come to class, what would you be doing right now? So if you weren't taking online class, what would you be doing? If you could eat anything right now, what would you eat? If you found 50,000 won in the street, would you keep it or return it to the police? Put it in your pocket. No, you would take it back, right? If we ate at a nice restaurant, would you pay the bill? So if me and you went together, would you pay? Maybe you're like, no, Fraser, you pay. You have a job, get it. Next line, if you could go anywhere this Friday night, where would you go? So there's no restriction, there's no coronavirus 19. You can go anywhere. Where would you go? If you could have dinner with anyone in the world, who would you choose? All of these questions are very simple questions and they're just on here on your worksheet. I want you to write down your answer. Would, I would, and the base form of the verb that you're using. So you need to practice these because it's on the final test. So pause me now. Page 76 grammar was all about the gerunds and infinitives. So it comes from the verb form of something, but it functions as the noun in the sentence, as the direct object of the sentence, usually, but it can be sometimes the subject. So there's two kinds, the gerund, which is the verb with ing on the end, but making it the noun. So for example, she enjoys painting. I don't mind repainting it. Subject and verb is, subject is me, I. So that's right. The verb don't mind. Repaint, ing like that, makes it the gerund. So you can see how this is made up. She enjoys painting. Subject, she. Verb, enjoys. Painting is the direct object noun. So she enjoys painting. So you can see it's easy to make the gerund. The infinitive is just to plus the base form of the verb. He wants to paint the kitchen yellow. I'd like to repaint the kitchen. Okay. Makes sense, right? To repaint. So usually we have verb to verb. This is the infinitive form. So subject, I. Verb, would like. And then to repaint is the infinitive. He wants to paint the kitchen yellow. Subject, he. Verb, wants. So the simple present tense of want, but he wants. So remember, I want, he wants. And then you can see to paint. So in this case, it's easy to follow how to make it. Page 76 has a box with them all in. Remember the box, right? Also on page 78, there was gerunds and acting as an object of a preposition. So this preposition means a word for a place, a direction, a time. So for example, this one here, I am afraid of flying. So remember the gerund, ing, but then it's got the word here, the preposition. This preposition is telling us, related to place, direction, or time. So each one of these has one. Next one, she's bored with cooking. So gerund form, but the preposition. She objects to discussing her feelings. On page 78, there's another box. If you remember the box, or you look at the box, it's going to be perfect, okay? So that's what I want you to do. I want you to look at the box, do your best, okay? And then just try to mark it down. On your worksheet, I've put in a very simple pattern. Here there's a list of words and verbs that you need to use to either make a gerund or an infinitive. But the second ones here, they only use the gerund form with the preposition. So what I would like you to do is to try to fill in the first ones with the correct gerund or infinitive form. The second one with the gerund and, that's right, the preposition for there. So try to fill in the two. You can see they're all on here. So pause me now. So let's go through the answers. So the first one, I enjoy watching old movies on TV, like this. Her greatest dream was seeing all of her children. So the next one, my niece plans to attend HUFS next semester. Avoiding too much pressure helps children become happy. I'm sick of not being able to fit into my clothes. I worry about not having enough energy to exercise if I'm not getting enough to eat. So those are the correct answers. Hopefully you got the right ones. Next one. He's afraid of flying. She doesn't believe in eating before bedtime. She's excited about taking a holiday after this crisis. And the last one, I'm tired of writing these questions. Let's finish now, right? Everybody wants to go home. Go, go, go. So those are the answers. Hopefully you got them all written down. We are going to finish here. I've gone through as much as I can to help you for this test. You have to remember it is a written exam, which online means online test. HUFS policy, right? So it's 15% of our classes on the final exam. I will only focus on the 3 units that we had. Most of the questions are just fill in blanks. Some is matching the words, with the choices. And then some of them is just fill in the paragraph with the correct grammar choices. But because of the way that the test is, you will just have to fill in the sentences with the right choices. But I'm going to get you to write more in this exam. And the last one, you need to write a small paragraph at the end. So there are a couple of multiple choice questions. There are a couple of fill in the blanks. There are a few, matching the words. It'll all work out choosing the right grammar and doing things. This test is done by another professor, and there are 50 questions on this test. So it's a little bit more than the midterm, but you just have to try your best. You can always, look at your books, help yourself. You should be able to get a good score on this test. Hopefully with this video and the hints, you'll be fine. So there's going to be a vocabulary section, a grammar section, and a writing section. 50 questions, 50 points. 1 question, 1 point. First one, it's write the correct expression of the photo stories in the blank. There will be 6 questions. Spelling is important. If you misspell or your spelling is wrong, E-class will not allow it. So you have to make sure it's exactly the same, fits it perfectly. That restaurant is worth trying. It couldn't Huh, like that. Page 76. Gerunds and infinitives. 7 questions. Fill in the blanks with the correct choice. You'll have options. Put in the correct one with the right form. If you do not enjoy study... So in this case, what would you write down? That's right. If you do not enjoy studying your major, like that. So you would just look at the sentence and you would fill it in with the correct blank. So they'll tell you the right parts here, you just have to fill it in correctly, using either gerund or infinitive form. Next on, page 78, gerund with the preposition. They'll give you a list of prepositions and you just fill in the blanks in the sentences, okay? Fill it in, perfect. So, everyone is tired, and then they'll give you here try to find parking spaces. So everyone is tired, and then you would write of trying to find parking spaces. The next one, page 80, so unit 7, so 80 and 81. Fill in the blank for the correct vocab, nature or nurture school, introvert or extrovert. We did the table and it said whether you're introvert or extrovert. That's what you need to do. Unit 9, page 100, 104, 106. There are 6 questions and spelling is important. Use the vocabulary to fill in the blanks. Like, attach file, post a message. We looked at today, look up information, cyberbullying. You have to just be careful. Make sure you're careful with your typing. Do it right, it'll be perfect. Page 102, you have to make some comparisons with is, as, blank, as. They will give you just or not nearly or almost, and then you have 2 sentences, just put them together to make it. So for example, Fraser is tall, I'm not tall. Ryan is a little taller. Okay. Then in this one, almost. So you would write Fraser is almost as tall as Ryan. Because Ryan is taller, he goes at the end, okay? The next one, same grammar, just choose the sentence that matches the pictures. So this one should be easy. I don't know if eClass will accept this. So this one, there may be a picture, it may not. So when I upload the test, we'll see if it works. But if not, there'll be something similar, just matching together, okay? The next one, page 110. It's all about the words. Moral dilemma. Fill in the blanks using the words. The words will be given, 4 words. So it should be easy. Hint, hint, you should know those words from page 110. The next one is the grammar for the unreal conditional. Fill in the blanks of the unreal conditional. 4 questions. I, for example, see, new Marvel movie. If I, So you just have to fill in the blanks. The next one, write the sentences in the correct form. 3 sentences. So there's a mistake with the grammar. So you'd be like, they will buy the TVs if they are on sale. The TVs are not on sale. So in this case, will is a real conditional. We want unreal. So in this case, they would buy the TVs if they were on sale, right? And finally, we come down to the writing question. So there will be 3 points for the paragraph that you have to write, but there'll also be 1 question about Unit 4 from page 83 and 1 about Unit 5 from 115. If you don't have the writing book, you can just go back and watch the writing book videos that I've posted and you can find the answers to those, so you can make some notes about it. But as I say, it's made by another professor and they want to show questions like this. Make sure you've done the writing book. Next on, you must compare A, life with a smartphone or without a smartphone, or online or face-to-face studying. So you're going to have to write a comparative part. And in this paragraph or short part, you need to include at least, so this is minimum, a topic sentence. So, for example, there are many differences between living with a smartphone or without one, concerning convenience, privacy, and portability. Remember, the topic sentence has to show what you're talking about and explain the things that you're mentioning. The next one, you have to compare 3 points. So you have to say 1, 2, 3 things about it. And finally, you need a concluding sentence. To sum up, or in conclusion, then say about what the differences are and which is better. So what's the winner? So remember, topic sentence, 3 points to compare, and a concluding sentence. I have to be able to understand your English. So if I can understand, you can get your 3 points. 1 point, 1 point, 1 point. If your English has a lot of mistakes and I don't understand, there'll be a -1. If you don't include something in here, -1. So that's how you'll have to do it, okay? The most important thing is, don't worry. Everything will be from what we've studied this semester. It's from the textbook, the 3 units. Everything I've highlighted today, just remember to be on time, because there's no way to do this test again. So be on time, do the test, you'll get a great score, and you'll get that A, okay? The most important thing is good luck. You don't need luck because you've studied hard. You've gone through everything, you've gone through the material, you'll get a great score. If you have any questions, please ask me now, email me, KakaoTalk, everything is okay. But good luck, I'm hoping that you will get a great score. And this is our final class today. Online this semester has been really tough for us all. It's not been the easiest, it's not been the best, maybe. Hopefully it's been good, I can't know. And I just want to say I really enjoy doing these classes in this way, but I prefer face-to-face classes. I love to get to know you better, talk to you every week, and have a lot of time together. So I just want to say thank you, and hopefully you will come back next semester and I can see you face-to-face, because I hope and I want to teach classes face-to-face. I really don't want to do online teaching again. So take care and best of luck. Just so you know, my original name for everything was No Jam Fraser, but my students forced me to change it to UJam. So hopefully this semester it's been a little UJam. Maybe not, but especially my AJ gag is very terrible, but that's because I get them from Scott. I have no AJ gag. But everybody, I just want to say thank you. You've done a great job this semester. I'll miss you. I've talked to a lot of you on KakaoTalk. I've talked to you face-to-face with a video. So I just want to say thank you, because I had a nice time. Even though it was really difficult to teach, I had a really good time teaching you and understanding you, getting to know you a little bit. And you've done a really good job this semester. So I want to say thank you. For all of you that loved Hello Kitty and sent me messages, for all of you that had a good time and studied hard, everybody, you've done a great job. So I want to say I'll see you soon. Contact me if you have any questions, and during the summer, if you're bored or you want to practice your English, you can message me, or you can see my terrible YouTube or Instagram or anything like that, and then you'll be like, thank you, and that's it for the semester. Good luck with your test. Bye everyone. Thank you.